Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome. Hope all is well. Glad you're here. I'm on the way to a job site. I had to go to what's called a supply house to pick up materials. And I figured I'd share my opinion on construction. Should you do construction? Should you stay in construction? Well, that all depends on who you are and what your goal is. So if you're young, fresh out of high school, under the age of 25, maybe you're thinking about getting into construction, here's what I'm going to say. If you like working with your hands, if you like doing critical thinking, you like working in teams, you like to work outside, maybe you like that rough, gritty environment, construction might be the place for you. Now, my advice is to take up an apprenticeship ASAP. Don't just get into construction and do construction work. You need to be taking classes so you can obtain certificates, so you can become a licensed worker that is registered to the state. Now, what do I mean by license? All right. So we got apprentices, we got journeymans, and we got masters. A master can run their own business. They can hire as many people as they want. A journeyman can only hire one helper. An apprentice basically has more power to negotiate wages, and when it comes to applying for jobs or companies, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. So that's my advice right there. Don't just come into construction. You got to take up classes, get certificates, become a licensed carpenter, licensed electrician, licensed plumber, licensed painter. I'm 29 years old. I've been doing construction for about 10 years. I went to what's called jobcorps after high school. I took up training for carpentry, and when I finished the program, myself and many other people were given what's called referrals to the union. Now, if you're thinking about joining the union, go for it. The sooner you do it, the better. That applies to a lot of things. The sooner you do it, the better. Now, there's a lot of criticism when it comes to the union, but here's what I'm going to say. The union takes care of their people. They offer a lot of classes, a lot of promotions. They have safety meetings. They have a lot of benefits. They got pensions and retirement plans. You want to be able to retire when you get older. So, me personally, I didn't go to the union. I ended up just running around in the real world. I started off doing what's called commercial construction. I did wood framing for the most part, some general labor, skilled labor. I would transfer into residential construction. Remodeling, I did remodeling for about 4 months. Then I got myself into solar for the last 3+ years. So commercial construction is, you're going to put up new buildings. You're going to renovate old buildings. You might upgrade the system, the electrical system, the HVAC, such and such. Residential construction is everything that involved a home, a house, whether that's a 1-story home, a 2-story home, a 3-story, a duplex, a mansion, homes. And we got a lot of companies out there. There's big companies, and then there's small business owners. Now, just because it's a small business doesn't mean they don't make a lot of money. Because the company that I'm with right now, well, that I've been with for 3+ years, the solar company ran under a master electrician. And they racked in a lot of money, and they're paying me a lot. In the beginning, if you don't have a lot of experience, you're going to get paid a little bit. But if you have experience, you can negotiate the wages and you can make decent money at first. But once you prove yourself and you get certificates relating to your field of work, you'll get paid more, or another company will pay you more. It all depends on what you want. You want to work in the commercial field? Go for it. You want to work in residential? Go for it. But keep in mind the key factors. You want to be able to take notes, all right? Taking notes is one of the biggest things that you should be doing in construction. So I got some notes, that I jotted down. I wrote did some math on it. Here you go, here's a good example. You might take down some people's numbers, some words that you don't know. You might go to church and you want to take down some scriptures, such and such. So keep that in mind. Keep a notepad on you, take notes, do some math, write down people's numbers, their names, such and such. Communication is key. Communication is one of the biggest things that you will be doing in construction. You got to be very specific. You can't just say, yo, get me a pipe. Grab me a 2x4. Such and such. You got to be specific. I need a 2x4 at 12.5 inches. I need a 3/4 inch pipe at 8 feet. You can't just go up to people and be like, I'm a carpenter. What kind of carpenter? Are you a wood framer? Are you a finished carpenter? Are you a cabinet installer? Are you a woodworker? Same thing for electrician. Are you a low voltage electrician? Are you a high voltage electrician? Are you a linesman? The people that work on power lines? You got to be specific when it comes to communication. So keep that in mind. Tools. When you buy tools, some companies, they give you tools. A lot of people buy their own because they like specific stuff. I learned to buy tools on the go. You don't buy everything at once. You buy on the go. Okay? So, yeah, when I did commercial construction, there's a lot of traveling. You might end up at the same job site for more than 6 months. And that's okay, man. Sometimes they pay for hotels, sometimes they don't. There's a lot of risk involved as well. You might get injured. You might see people get injured. You might die. You'll see people die. You'll see people make mistakes. You're going to see people get laid off. You might get laid off. Might get fired. For the most part, people get laid off. The layoff. Yeah. And yeah, it depends on the economy. But it also depends on your level of experience. Are you valuable to the company? Right? So, I did wood framing, commercial wood framing for a few years. We got professional people and then we got unprofessional people. So what do I mean by that? All right, so the unprofessional people are not licensed carpenters, even though they can do construction. So, if you're an apprentice, you better take it seriously. If you're trying to get a journeyman, you better take it seriously. So once you become a master, you have a lot of power. You can hire people, you can run your own business, you can secure gigs, secure projects, bids, such and such. And we got tradesmen, tradeswomen, a lot of females. I've seen females in construction, but most females in construction are doing inspection. They're inspectors. They do project management, such and such. And you got to be careful sometimes because you might end up in a company, you might end up on a job site where people are drinking, they're doing drugs. You want to stay away from them, all right? If you want to level up and have job security, make more money, you stay away from the toxic people. And if you find yourself with a toxic crew, you might have to change companies or change jobs because sometimes they can't or they won't put you with another crew. It's strange. I don't know. It's weird. But, you know, we got small business owners that do make a lot of money. Just because it's a small business doesn't mean they're racking up money. You might end up on a big company. They'll treat you like a freaking another number. It'll take a while for you to grow and develop experience. Well, you will. That's another thing. When you're on a job site, you want to pay attention to everything, because if you pay attention to other people, you know, the electricians, the carpenters, the plumbers, the painters, the drywallers, the floor guys, the ground guys that drive the big machines, you can learn a lot if you pay attention. So, yeah, there's a lot of subcategories, a lot of stuff you can do. And, yeah, man, I've seen a lot of toxicity in construction, and that depends on the job site, and it depends on the company that's involved. So, hey, then again, you got a lot of professional people that take it seriously. They take pride in their work, and you know, they show up, they get it done correctly, and they carry on. So if you do a really good job, you can build your network. You're gonna get to know people, you'll take down their numbers, and if something happens, you can always call them up. Call them up for advice, you can call them up for work, you can hire them, such and such. And like I said, if you don't have a lot of experience, or if you're young, under the age of 25, fresh out of high school, whatever, you ain't gonna make a lot of money at first. But once you prove yourself and you get experiences, and you take those classes, like I said, you get your certificates, you get your license, become registered to the state, you make more money. You can negotiate your wage, such and such, because you'll know what you're talking about. And the people that know the stuff, they're going to recognize that you know the stuff too. Anyways, that's what I got for now. I'm pulling up to a job site right now. I just wanted to share some thoughts and opinions, my experience. There's more to talk about, but those are the general things. Remember, y'all, don't cheat on the test. If you're going to take a test, don't cheat on the test. Don't lie. Be upfront. Be honest. And slow down. Take it easy. And we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.